Morning, everyone. Today's topic we are going to discuss about the reciprocating pump with animated actions. So here you can see how the pump is being working. The to and fro motion is being gained through the rotation of the crank. As this to and fro motion will create the suction and the delivery and thereby pumping. Let's see its part one by one. So this area we used to call it as a water layer where which the suction pipe has been attached with a suction valve. And this one is a cylinder in which the piston tends to move to and fro. The piston is connecting using the piston rod and next followed with the connecting rod. The connecting rod is further connected with the crank over which the crank tends to rotate at 360 degree. So for ease of understanding, we are going to mark it as 0 degree at this junction and a 90 at this point, 180, 270 degrees. So based upon this arrangement, next we will go to the delivery valve. Here for ease of understanding, the red color has been given over the delivery valve, which is connected by the delivery pipe, followed with the delivery tank, over which the water from the sump has been sucked through this pump and delivered through the delivered. Now let's move into the construction, how it works. First, the suction pipe connects the source of the liquid to the cylinder. A pipe that connects the source to the cylinder we used to call as a suction pipe. At the end of the cylinder or the starting point of the cylinder, the suction valve has been placed. So here the suction valve opens during the suction stroke and closed at the beginning of the delivery stroke. Next comes the cylinder. The cylinder, the simple description is as follows. Accommodation liquid during suction stroke and discharge during the delivery stroke of the piston. Now, if the piston moves from one end to the other end, the succession has been created over which it helps to maintain the uniform water flow. Next is piston and the plunger. And this is the reciprocating part which creates a negative and positive pressure due to its to and fro motion. So now this is the piston over which the piston is being connected with the piston rod, connecting rod and followed with the crank. As the piston moves from left to right or right to left, the succession and the delivery has been taking place. And this to and fro motion is being completely occurred due to this connecting rod. As the piston moves from left to right, the suction stroke will happen, and it moves from right to left, the delivery stroke is going to happen. So, in the further session, we will be learning how this to and fro motion is being captured. So, before you need to know something about the piston and the plunger. The piston is nothing but a cylindrical rod shape that maintains a uniform pressure rate within the cylinder. Now comes to the delivery valve. The delivery valve closes during the suction stroke and open at the beginning of the delivery stroke. As the piston moves from right to left, the high pressure has been generated over which the suction valve tends to close and delivery valve opens. Crank and the connecting rod. The main purpose of the crank and the connecting rod is to make the prime rotation motion of the prime mover into the reciprocating motion of the piston plunger. So, as to and fro motion of the piston is being completely controlled by the crank revolution. So now if you take the crank from 0 to 90, 90 to 180 and 180 to 270, 270 to 0 degree, it rotates in this sense. If you want, you can take it as it is moving in a clockwise direction. So now this plunger, when the crank moves from one end to the other end, because of the circular motion, the reciprocating motion has been achieved. Now comes the last one, the delivery pipe. The delivery pipe is a pipe that connects the cylinder with the comes this delivery pipe. This delivery pipe open when its pressure is tend to be very high, because of which the liquid from the low level has been pumped to the high level. Next comes the prime mover. The prime mover is nothing but a motor which is used to drive the pump. Now let us see the working. So now it's very clear that succession pipe, delivery pipe is being connected over the cylinder where the piston is being connected over the crank. Now we look up into the forward stroke. That is nothing but the succession stroke. When the cranks moves from 0 to 180 degrees, succession is going to be happen. Now at this straight condition, the piston is at the top dead center. So as it moves from 0 to 180, the piston moves from towards right as shown in the figure. You just look up over here. Now I'm going to tilt from 0 to 90 degree. When it moves, you just have a glance how the piston is being moved. See, now because of this 0 to 90 degree, the plunger or the piston that moves from move towards the right side. As a result, a small vacuum has been created, and that vacuum is more than enough to suck the water from the low level, and the suction pipe has been completely filled with the water. And this vacuum creation is being further cast as it moves from 90 to 180 degree. Now you read up the second point. This creates a vacuum in the cylinder on the left. Now, when the piston is at completely 180 degrees, say the piston is at the bottom dead center. That means from here, the restriction of the piston, movement of the piston is being restricted, because of which the suction valve get open and the entire cylinder has been filled with fluid. Now we will see the working principle, that is the reverse stroke, delivery stroke. In the delivery stroke, the piston moves from 180 degree to 0 degree. So as the plunger moves from 180 to 270 degree, a slight forward motion has been achieved since it's a airtight piston inside the cylinder that creates a pressure difference within the piston. As a result, the delivery valve tends to open because of the high pressure that is being generated because of the rotation of the crank that allows the piston to move from towards the left. So now the succession valve at this junction is enclosed in nature. So succession valve get closed when the piston moves towards left, as the delivery valve open when the liquid forced towards the delivery pipe to reach the delivery tank. As the plunger moves from 270 degree to 0 degree, the piston expels all the liquid that has been sucked during the succession stroke has been completely delivered through the delivery pipe into the delivery tank as the through the delivery valve. So succession and the delivery are non-return valves. They open and close automatically according to the pressure difference between them. At the low pressure, the succession valve get open when the piston moves towards the right,